Well, welcome to my home. This is kind of a part 2 of my Good Food Farm video. I thought it would be kind of fun to take a little bit of the food that I got from them and just show you guys what you might do with it. So, like I said, you're in my home. I have 6 children and a husband upstairs, so you're probably going to hear a little bit of it, but whatever, that's real life. Oh, and I was outside all day, so this is what you get. So I'm starting out with this delicious bacon, and I'm just going to chop it into pieces, and I'll show you guys in a second here. I'm also posting this on my Instagram. If you haven't followed me, follow me at Peace Country and Beyond. And I'm going to do a step-by-step recipe thing on here for you guys. So right now, this is 1 package of their delicious bacon, and it's pretty thick cut. Like, it's a pretty thick cut of bacon, and it smells glorious. Just cutting it into cubes like this, whoop, and dropping it on my counter. I'm gonna fry it up. So while that's frying, I'll tell you what I was thinking when I decided that I was going to do this recipe. I've never made it before. I've kind of made things similar to it, and I'm not a girl with recipes, so I really hope this turns out. If it doesn't, you probably won't see it. But if you did, you can be assured that it turned out well. So I have some apples that are kind of browning, and my kids are picky, and I usually just make things out of them at this point. So I decided that, I got some pork chops and some bacon, and I decided that I was going to make a bit of a bacon apple compote type thing to go on top of my pork, which I'm going to fry in the bacon fat. So, yeah. I've been out in the garden all day and out mowing my lawn and doing all the yard work, so I really don't feel bad about eating bacon fried everything. But surely one of these days it's going to catch up with me and I'm going to have to go to the gym. But for now, I'm happy that it's summer and we can be outside and getting our exercise. Just chopping up this apple. You hear that bacon sizzling? Here, I'll show it to you. Whoop. Smells amazing. Ha! You're all fogged up. Sorry, guys. Whoop, whoop. Okay, that should be better. Did you get fogged up in all that steam there? I really wish you guys could smell this. Okay, so this is harder than it looks. I've got a pot on for some potatoes because I totally blanked out on what I was going to do for a side for this. So, and I left a little bit of bacon fat in my pan, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these beautiful pork chops, which I added some garlic and ground salt, Mediterranean salt, and ground pepper. And that's it. And I'm going to fry it up in this pan about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, if not just a little bit more, until the temperature reaches at least 145 if you want it medium, but I prefer ours well done at about 160 to 165. And then we'll be able to make our last part of this pork dinner, and it is going to be so delicious. I'm really excited to try it. Okay, so we have the pork chops frying in the pan. Try not to fog you guys up this time. Looking delicious. I've set aside the bacon on a paper towel to drain some of the fat, and I've also cut up, trying to find my way here, some apples and put some lemon juice in them to keep them from oxidizing, but also to cut the sugar that we're going to put in them later. Okay, this is where things get a little bit crazy because you've got potatoes going, you've got all of your ingredients just getting ready to be finished. My pork chops were not quite up to temperature, especially around the bone, so I'm just popping them in the oven. Right there to bring them up to temperature, and we will get started on doing our apple compote. Okay, so pork is done. There, it's resting. Potatoes are in the oven to stay warm, and I am just heating up the bacon fat to fry up the apples, and then I'll add the sugar. So I fried the apples for like 2 or 3 minutes in bacon fat, just a little bit on the bottom, just to soften them up. And then I added about 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a pinch of allspice. I'm trying to remember now. You can add some sage, but I didn't have it, and a little bit of ginger as well, maybe about 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. And then it took no time for that to start really cooking down. So it was less than a minute before it was pretty saucy, and you don't want to overdo it, otherwise it becomes sticky. And then I added my bacon, and this is what's going to go on top of my pork chop. Got a piece of apple and some bacon. Oh my goodness. This is dangerous knowledge, guys. So if you are not wanting to totally binge on this, then don't even attempt it, because the smells alone won't be able to stop you, let alone the taste. It is so good. That is what you get. I'm trying not to speak with my mouth full, but this is so good. Good Food Farm bacon, pork chops. They do new litters every 3 months. 100% grain-fed and grazed, and it's all organic, all locally sourced. So, I'm trying to eat this. So check them out, Good Food Farm on Facebook, and you too could have a little bit of this good stuff.